President of the United States? My name is Dallas Green. Well, thank you, Mr. President. I tell you, we're thrilled here in Philadelphia. We waited an awful long time for this moment, and a lot of people said this baseball team couldn't do it, but I think we proved otherwise. I think we proved we're the best in 1980 in America.
It all began in Clearwater, Florida, where some 46 players tuned up under Maestro Dallas Green, the newest man in the Phillies conductor's chair.
It's like the Boston Symphony Orchestra. You have a bunch of fabulous musicians, but if you don't have a maestro to put them all together and let them make their music and make that sound come out right, then the musicians are lost. And I think this year Dallas is the kind of maestro the ball club has been looking for. And I think with his leadership and the ability to take our talents and give it direction, I think we're absolute favorites this year.
Absolute favorites they were not. In fact, most of America's baseball writers picked the team to finish fourth, behind Pittsburgh, Montreal, and St. Louis. The consensus was Dallas Green's aging musicians could no longer hit the high notes. Could Dallas Green stop the Phillies' decline? Or would the preseason death notices hold true? As soon as the first ball was delivered, Philly fans would have their answer.
Stretch by Rogers, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a long drive, deep left field, out of here, home run.
On opening night, the Phillies were a picture of good health. There was new spirit in the ranks, and Larry Bowa's ever-present determination was evidence of one very important thing. This was not a dying baseball team. This was Dallas Green's kind of team. Disciplined in fundamentals, sound in execution, and always willing to get down and dirty. Like all Philly teams of recent years, the 1980 club was outstanding in the field. Mike Schmidt and Gary Maddox won Gold Gloves, while everybody made the plays. Year in and year out, no team in baseball plays better team defense than the Phillies. Among the surprises of 1980, none was more pleasant than the blossoming of catcher Keith Moreland. Moreland was a 26-year-old rookie who pummeled National League pitching like a seasoned pro. On July 27th, his batting average climbed above the 300 mark. It stayed there the rest of the season. And when the final stats were in, only one player on the club hit for a higher average. That man was 24-year-old rookie Lonnie Smith, Philadelphia's offensive catalyst. In only 100 games, Smith led the club in stolen bases and led the league in hustle. While Smith and Moreland enjoyed fine rookie seasons, second baseman Manny Trio had his best season as a Philly. The same was true for Big McBride, whose 87 runs batted in were a career high. But the man whose inspirational presence sustained this club was Peter Edward Rose. At 39 years of age, Rose was the only Philly to play every day. And the years have diminished neither his zest for the game nor his appeal to his admirers. He led the league in doubles, and his 185 hits were a team high. But much deeper than statistics is this one simple observation. In the whole history of Major League Baseball, only a handful of men have played the game with the passion of Pete Rose. Finally, there's the man whose bat has launched more home runs in the past 7 years than any other active player. He is today the premier power hitter in Major League Baseball, 1980's most valuable player. His 48 home runs established a new Major League single-season record for third baseman and earned him his 4th home run title in 7 years. Michael Jack Schmidt, Philadelphia's Sultan of Swats.
Come on, lefty, straighten out!
Pitcher Steve Carlton, Philadelphia's King of the Hill. Carlton throws the best slider in baseball, a pitch that batters expect at the belt buckle, but which falls off sharply to their shoe tops. It's a pitch that's made many a major leaguer look rather foolish. In 1980, Steve Carlton became the all-time strikeout leader among left-handed pitchers. Just another souvenir in the case. At age 35, Carlton started more games, pitched more innings, struck out more batters, and won more decisions than any pitcher in the National League. Not surprisingly, he also collected his 3rd Cy Young Award. The right-handed half of the league's best 1-2 starting combination was Dick Ruthven. When sore arms and injuries depleted the starting rotation, the Phillies reached into their farm system and pulled out a plum in 11-game winner Bob Walk. Later in the year, 6'5" Marty Bystro arrived from Oklahoma City, eager to contribute. And contribute he did, starting 5 games, winning all 5, and earning acclaim as the National League Pitcher of the Month in September. The good news from the starting front was bad news for the men in the Philly bullpen. For out here, where the game is no more than a distant vision, the longer the starters last, the less the bullpen has to do. Bullpen boredom, there's only one known cure.
Yeah. Byron.
When duty calls, relief pitchers become baseball's Lone Rangers, coming to the rescue of thousands with a trick pitch and a hearty hi-yo silver. On the field, a relief pitcher's problems are many. First off, there are those who wonder if he can do the job at all. At the mound, his instructions are simple. Bail us out, or it's back to the bush. Throughout the 1980 season, the men with the gunfighter eyes did the job, arriving in the heat of battle and dousing the fire. And by mid-season, real help was on the way. On July 17th, after a 3-week bout with tendonitis, Tug McGraw returned to the Phillies. He allowed just 3 earned runs the rest of the season, due mostly to his famous screwball, a wrong-way curve that murders right-handed batters. Nobody turns on the vet quite like the Tug. Of course, every night at Veterans Stadium is an enlightening experience. For the kids, a night at the vet could mean a free back-to-school gift from Tasty Cake. For the Phils, it could mean a visit from umpire Dutch Rent.
I know it was low. Might have been away.
At least one umpire is always welcome.
Hi, sweetheart. Hey, we're on TV radio now. My wife's here. Don't do that.
Eric Gregg, the fanatic's favorite.
Hey, let's go. Right here. Let's go. Come on now. Hit a gap before. Come on, get it started.
Of course, not even Eric Gregg can make the Phillies swing the bats.
We're still only got one hit, man. Let's go.
So when things are a little slow, That's when Paul Richardson takes over at the stadium keyboard. Nobody in town knows more about the psyche of Philadelphia baseball fans.
It's the ethnic things that they can clap their hands to. That seems to get the best response. But the situation isn't right. You got a tie ball game. It's 2-10 yet.
Hey, get in, Bobby. Let's go. Come on, Bobby.
Moon hitting 228. 9 overs. He has knocked in 51 runs.
Nothing. They're not where they at.
Moon, despite a batting average some 60 points lower than last year, will probably get more RBIs. Line drive left field.
On this particular night in September, Bobby Wine gave the sign, and Philly fundamentals buried the Bucks. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, the season was over. For the Philly faithful, it was just getting interesting. With a week to play, the Phillies were on top. But by Sunday evening, the Philadelphia Playoff Express had been derailed, and the 1980 Phillies were being haunted by ghosts of September's past. Were Philly fans about to be disappointed?
The 1-1 pitch. Swing.
A stirring 15-inning win led to a 4-game sweep of the Cubs. And by week's end, the Phillies needed just one more win to clinch the National League Eastern Division title.
The pitch to Smith. Long drive to left field. He buried it. Way back. Out of here. Home run. Mike Smith puts the Phillies on 6-4. Oh, what a drive by Smith. Unbelievable. He hit that thing deep to the seats in left field. And the Phillies reach Smith at the plate. Mike clasps his hand. He shakes hands with all of his teammates. What a wild scene in Montreal.
The Philadelphia Phillies, National League Eastern Division champions. Game 1 of the League Championship Series was like opening night revisited, right down to the particulars.
3-2 pitch. Swing a long drive. There she goes. Way out of here. Right blows it up.
Philadelphia's one-game lead was quickly erased. The Astros took Game 2 in extra innings, sending the series to the Houston Astrodome, a place where the Phillies were anything but welcome. Ahead, lay three of the most action-packed days in league championship history. Game 3, both teams had scoring opportunities, but each time Larry Christensen was in a jam, his defense bailed him out. The scoreless tie took its toll as Houston lost Cesar Cedeno. But in the 10th inning, Philadelphia lost the game. The Phillies were just one game from extinction. And the umpiring in Game 4 didn't make things any easier.
One hopper to the pitcher. He throws to first. Maddox is out at first. Everybody else is okay. Wait a minute. What time are we in? Wait a minute. That's the play. No way. They're really going to get the play. They're rolling the ball.
For the third straight day, the game reached extra innings. Then in the 10th, the Bull bounced one off the wall, and Pete Rose headed for a game-winning rendezvous with Astro catcher Bruce Bochy. In the decisive fifth game, Philadelphia once again received last rights. But versatile Greg Gross laid down a perfect eighth-inning bunt to load the base. Time now for the series MVP to nail down the award.
Line drive left field.
When Houston had the audacity to tie the score, Gary Maddox's big clutch hit nailed down the win.
The 3-2 pitch. Here's a punch out to center field. Maddox racing over. He catches the ball. The Phillies win the ball game 8-7. They go to the World Series for the first time in 30 years.
Bring out the character in all these teams. You look all the World Series winners. The Oakland A's had a lot of scuffling, but they won it. The Yankees, a lot of scuffling, but they won it. They like each other too much. They're going to lose.
Trailing 4-0 in the third, a rejuvenated Bob Boone drove in the first of 5 Philly runs, turning the base paths into a pinstripe carousel. Philadelphia's 5-run rally sent the Royals down to defeat. And in Game 2, a 4-run 8th inning gave the Phillies yet another come-from-behind win. Just when the Phillies appeared invincible, the scene shifted to Kansas City, where the Royals even the series. In the all-important fifth game, Kansas City took a 1-run lead into the ninth and sent out their bullpen ace to protect. The Phillies sent out pinch hitter extraordinaire, Del Unson.
Swing a smash past Higgins and down the right field line. Mike Schmidt is heading for third base. Being waved around third. Here is the relay from the plate. Schmidt safe at home plate.
Unson eventually scored the game-winning run, and the Phillies returned home just one win away from their first ever World Championship. But by now, it was a bygone conclusion. After 97 years of waiting, Philly fans were one pitch away from celebrating a world title. The celebration poured out into the city as more than 1 million people lined the streets to pay tribute to their conquering heroes. Finally, before a packed house in JFK Stadium, Mike Schmidt gave the final blessing.
Beating the Yankees, I think, in that the third game the other night was the most excited I've been.
Oh, this is fabulous. This is about the greatest thing that ever happened to Kansas City, I'll tell you.
George Brett against Rich Gossage. 2 down. Wilson at second. Washington at first. Fastball. Drilled to right field. Back it goes. It's gone. George Brett has just hit a towering 3-run homer. The Royals lead the Yankees 4-2. And now they're just 9 outs away from their first American League pennant. Dan Quisenberry is being mobbed by his teammates. After coming so close so many times, the World Series will be coming to Kansas City.
No question about it. They were going to beat Houston all of it. They just wanted to make it to the last minute to make it like drag it out and make it look really good.
This actually is bigger for us, I think, than the bicentennial, you know.
Gary Maddox stands in. Unser at third, 2 outs, top of the 10th. LaCourte's pitch. Maddox swings, line drive, center field. Gould can't get it. Unser scores, and the Phillies lead 8-7. Unbelievable. This team just won't quit. The Phils have come from behind again. The Phillies have done it. It took 30 years and 5 murderous games with Houston, but finally the Phils are going to the World Series.
I've been waiting 30 years for this, and 4 in a row, I guarantee it.
We've waited a long time, but it's worth the wait.
Sure, it's been worth the wait. There's no doubt about that.
For the first time in 60 years, two teams who have never won a World Series square off in baseball's October showcase. Another first. Never before have both World Series teams been led by rookie managers. But Kansas City's Jim Fry and Philadelphia's Dallas Green are given much of the credit for turning around their team's fortunes and bringing about this historic meeting. In the city of brotherly love and baseball near misses, it's time to let go and celebrate. For 1950 seems an eternity ago. Eddie Sawyer, the manager of that last Phillies pennant winner, is Game 1's first ball hurler. Despite their grueling championship series with Houston, it's a relaxed and confident Phillies team. On the mound is Bob Walk, the first rookie pitcher to start Game 1 in 28 years. And batsmen like Amos Otis are just itching to get a crack at the kid. With a man on first in the second inning, Walk gets a rude World Series introduction. It's 2-0, and Amos Otis becomes the 16th player to homer in his first World Series at-bat. In the third, Willie Aikens, another debut performer, celebrates his 26th birthday. Just ask Willie Aikens if it doesn't feel good to be 26 and 4 runs in front. A couple more base runners put Clint Hurdle in the driver's seat. Hurdle's single sends a call for arms to rookie outfielder Lonnie Smith. Still, with a 4-run cushion, 20-game winner Dennis Leonard ought to be breathing easily. But there's no such thing against these feisty come-from-behind Phillies. In the third inning, Larry Boa strikes a blow for the bottom-of-the-order brigade. With this team, a rally can start here just as well as at the top of the order. The scrappy shortstop knows that someone has to stoke the coals. It's the third time in World Series history the designated hitter rule is in effect, so batting ninth is catcher Bob Boone. The DH rule backfires on its American League founders as the Phillies' 8th and 9th batters produce their first World Series run. At the top of the order, Lonnie Smith gets another run home. And now it's Pete Rose who'll do just about anything to get on base. That includes getting hit by a pitch. And Rose, one of only 3 Phils who knows the World Series ropes, has Veterans Stadium alive. The Royals' once comfortable lead is now in danger. The potential tying runs are on for Bake McBride, who's batting cleanup despite having hit only 9 home runs the entire season. High, deep, and gone. McBride's 3-run homer puts the finishing touches on a 5-run third. And the Phillies, who came from behind in all 3 championship series victories, have catapulted into the lead. 2 more runs extend the Phillies' lead to 7-4. And the insurance tallies help Bob Walk settle down in the middle inning. But with a runner on in the 8th and nobody out, the massive frame of Willie Aikens is an ominous presence. Aikens' second moonshot makes him only the 3rd player ever to hit 2 homers in his first World Series game. The Royals now trail by only 1. And Bob Walk, who'd later call himself Boom Boom, is replaced by the cool, calm, and collected countenance of the Phillies' placid reliever, Tug McGraw. With 2 out in the 9th, it's Willie Wilson against Old Stoneface, who never seems to get excited. The 7-6 win gives the Phillies an indescribable feeling, one they've been waiting for since 1915. It's time to play for a knockout. Having scaled 1 hurdle against the favored Royals, the Phillies are now looking for 4 in a row. Who better to continue the quest than Steve Carlton, the Phillies' ace left-hander, who faces Larry Gurra, the Royals' top southpaw. A far cry from the tumultuous Game 1, the second outing belongs to the pitchers, at least until the top of the 7th. With the Phillies leading by 1, Carlton's sliders start slipping. 3 walks load the bases with blue shirts, and the series' hottest hitter, Amos Otis, waits impatiently. A 2-run double, and for Otis, a series total of 5 hits for a royal flush. A sacrifice fly extends the Royals' lead, and again the Phillies must stage a late-inning rally. But these folks have learned to have faith in these times, thanks to a late-inning healer named Del Unser. The Royals, meanwhile, have their own miracle worker, Dan Quisenberry, who earned 33 saves in 1980 with his famed Atom pitch. But Unser refuses to hit this Atom or anywhere near him. Bob Boone rumbles home, cutting the Royals' lead to 4-3 in the 8th. A ground out advances Unser to third, and the infield is drawn in for Shake and Bake McBride. The hero of Game 1 is a hero again. The game is tied 4-4, but the Phillies aren't done yet with their big gun Mike Schmidt at bat. It's one right fielder against another. Once again, the team that wouldn't die saves it best until its backs are against the wall. Another run gives the Phillies a 6-4 eighth-inning lead and puts Ron Reed in a position to save it for Steve Carlton. Philly fans just can't wait to move on. For the first time ever, a Phillies team has 2 wins in a World Series. It's now on to Kansas City, and Philadelphia fans don't care if they ever come back. A city of sparkling waters and Midwestern charm, Kansas City's caught the fever because its favorite 12-year-old is coming home. Kansas City fans have waited a lifetime, and now the whole world is watching. The Royals are down 2-0, but 7 teams have come back after losing the first 2, so no one's about to roll over just yet. In a glittering World Series premiere, Royal Stadium is a smash. The fun's hardly begun when up steps George Brett in inning 1. It's a huge relief for Royal fans because the most celebrated case of hemorrhoids in recent memory had forced Brett out of Game 2 in the latter innings. With the hopes of all of Kansas City and an operation the day before, the indomitable Brett is back in the lineup. Dick Ruthven, the Phillies starting pitcher in Game 3, has the unenviable chore of facing the game's best hitter in front of his adoring legion. It's 1-0 Kansas City, and what could be more appropriate? The first World Series hit at Royal Stadium is a home run by the one and only George Brett, who has, in his own words, put my troubles behind me. The Phillies, however, are not behind for long, and the game stays knotted into the 4th inning when Willie Aikens bats with 1 out and nobody on. For the first time in his big league career, the mountainous Aikens barrels in with a triple. Next up for the Royals is their Big Mac, Hal McRae. McRae's single scores Aikens and puts Kansas City in the lead 2-1. The Royals' 1-run lead is entrusted to towering right-hander Rich Gale, facing Mike Schmidt in the 5th. For the first time in 19 career postseason games, Mike Schmidt gets to display his home run trot. The game is tied again 2-2, but Royal fans initial a cheer in the 7th. In KC, AO stands for Amos Otis, and the red-hot Royal center fielder gets ready to send this ball a WOL. The Royals are back on the top side of the seesaw struggle 3-2, but the Phillies don't stay down for long in anyone's playground. One more comeback in the 8th, and this battle royale heads into extra innings with the Phillies mount a 10th inning threat. An encore is being asked of Mike Schmidt, while the Royals look for a command performance from Dan Quisenberry. Frank White's masterful double play symbolizes the highs and lows of this relentless series. With the Phillies having stranded a record 15 runners, it's the Royals' turn to mount an offensive on Tug McGraw. Despite a pitch out, Willie Wilson steals second base. After a walk, McGraw pitches to the Royals' cleanup man. Willie Aikens stands in with 2 outs and the potential winning run at second base. Wilson's victory dance brings the 12-year history of Royals baseball to an exultant climax at home plate. At long last, the Kansas City Royals have won a World Series game. And no matter what happens next, they'll savor this one forever, for the first one's always the sweetest. Game 4 of the 1980 World Series, and a glorious autumn afternoon. In Missouri, this day has been proclaimed Kansas City Royals Day. Philadelphia still leads 2-1, but this team of Royals is fired up. And in the first inning, the pride of the Show Me State shows them. The Royals get 6 hits and score 4 runs in the first inning, and the Phillies can never quite pick up the pieces. The series is tied at 2 games apiece. Dennis Leonard is the winner with a save from Quisenberry and 2 homers from Aiken. But the most memorable moment of Game 4 came in the 4th. George Brett facing Dickie Knowles.
Control you. There ain't no doubt about that pitch, was there?
We'll handle it. We'll handle it. Take it easy now, Jim.
As Fry departs, home plate umpire Don Denkinger lays down the law.
I'm just going to stop it right now. We're not going to have anybody throw at anybody, okay? Because if I think you're throwing at somebody, then I'm going to run you, okay? Okay.
The message is loud and clear, and Denkinger puts the issue to rest once and for all.
Yes. I didn't tell him I thought he was throwing anybody, but I don't want him throwing anybody. If I think he's throwing somebody intentionally, he's got to go. And same for Dennis, okay?
With no more conflict in Game 4, both the Phillies and Royals turn their attention to the critical 5th game. In this, baseball's first all-artificial turf World Series, even the groundskeeper's efforts are intensified. There's always a touch of levity to be found, but now the tension is spiraling for these 2 stubborn ball clubs. Game 5 ceremonial first ball thrown out by Bryce Durbin, representing the 500,000 athletes in the National Federation of High School Athletic Association. The real first ball will be thrown by Larry Gura, who's already turned in a commendable performance in Game 2. After a scoreless first 3 innings, Bake McBride bats with 1 out in the 4th. McBride's slow roller should be routine, but Willie Aikens can't find the bag, and McBride is on. Aikens' seemingly trivial error could become the game's first pivotal play, for you hate to put a base runner on with the Major League's home run king, Mike Schmidt, up next. An outside fastball is sent out, way out, and there'll be no carom on this one. The Phillies go ahead 2-0, and Schmidt's second home run of the World Series thrust the Royals into the role of playing comeback. Kansas City gets a run in the 5th, but the Phillies' second rookie starter of the series, 22-year-old Marty Bystrom, is displaying poise beyond his years. Now in the 6th, Amos Otis takes aim. The game is tied at 2-2 as Otis, with 11 hits and 7 RBIs, continues to look the part of series MVP. Two more hits and Bystrom walking. Ron Reed relieves, and the Royals go ahead by a run. Now, Darrell Porter's at first, and Willie Wilson connects. From the crack of the bat, Porter's got home plate fever, but so does the Philadelphia tandem of McBride and Trio. The Royals lose a chance for a possible big inning. Now in the 9th, it's up to tireless Dan Quisenberry to protect a precarious 1-run lead. The ninth inning is a lonely chamber of boundless tension and icy resolve. The whole series riding on every pitch.
Come on, Mike! Hey, come on, kid!
Mike Schmidt leads off. Brett, who'd been playing more shallow than usual, is a forlorn figure, and Schmidt is the potential tying run. Up steps pinch hitter Del Unser. The comforts of home. One man's celebration is another fan's nightmare. And now with the score tied, something's got to give. The uncanny Unser has been sacrificed to third, and now with 2 outs, the batter is Manny Trio. Unser's run puts the Phillies ahead, and this rollicking band of never say die Phillies has done it again. After Hal McRae's long fly ball to left falls just foul, Tug McGraw has to catch his breath. The Royals then load the bases. With 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, Jose Cardenal's at bat. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a triumphant Tug McGraw, and the Phillies have scratched and clawed and hung on for dear life to take a precious 3-2 lead back to Philadelphia. Game 6 brings out almost 66,000 fans, the largest World Series crowd in 16 years. A record-breaking television audience is also watching. Getting things underway is Tony Taylor, a Philly infielder for so many of the lean years. But these are the halcyon days of lefty Carlton and lofty ambition. For 7 innings, Carlton sends the Royals down with hardly a whimper, but his opponent, Rich Gale, is hard-pressed to keep pace. With no score in the third, Gale walks Bob Boone and faces speedster Lonnie Smith. Surprisingly, the call is safe. The old in-the-neighborhood play fails to impress umpire Bill Kunkel. The Phillies have 2 on with no outs. A throwing error is charged to Frank White, and the KC skipper is flying.
Come on, Bill! What's going on, Bill? Pull them up. Ah, the ball didn't pull them off nothing. Come on, Bill! What's going on, for crying out loud? It's just a first play. He's not doing anything, for crying out loud. How can you call a play like that? How can you call a play like that, Bill? Come on, Bill. How can you do that? There was no play. Come on, Bill. You don't see that twice a year, Bill. Put the ball right here. Come on, for crying out loud.
The futility of Fry's mission becomes apparent, and the manager addresses himself to an ally.
He's going to bunt for sure. We'll have to play with 2 charges.
With Boone at second and Smith at first, Fry has put his infielders in motion to combat a sacrifice bunt. Pete Rose is the man in the middle of all this as the game assumes the look of strategic warfare. Will Rose bunt or not? With Brett charging, Rose fakes and takes a ball, and with the count 3-1, Fry sends his infielders back. Noticing the change in defensive strategy, Rose lays down a gorgeous bunt, and George Brett is playing too deep to make the play. Without a ball hit out of the infield, the Phillies have loaded the bases with nobody out. score it a hit for Rose and give the round to Philadelphia. Mike Schmidt, the batter. The Phillies go up 2-0 thanks to the clutch swinging Schmidt. The lead then swells to 4 and holds until the 8th inning when Tug McGraw relieves a tired Steve Carlton. The Royals break through for a run, and with the bases loaded, it's designated hitter Hal McRae versus designated stopper Tug McGraw. The Phillies have come out of the 8th inning alive and still well from another heart pounder. Still, this slap-happy fellow has a truly astonishing flair for drama, and the 9th inning will provide even more. Down by 3 runs, the Royals load the bases with only 1 out, and the potential lead runs at home. For 2 rookie managers, it's the moment of truth. Tug McGraw fires to Frank White, who pops it up. A miraculous grab by Pete Rose might just stand as the most lasting image of this stirring series. After all that it took to get here, the new Phillies can't afford to let it slip away now. It goes in the books as out number 2. The Phillies need just 1 more strike to wrap it up, and Willie Wilson stands in the way. At 11:29 p.m., October 21st, 1980, the ghosts of Phillies past are finally laid to rest. The team that couldn't win the big one has taken the ultimate, and the fans who never had a champion have a World Series winner. It was 98 years in coming, but as any Philadelphia fan will tell you, it was well worth the wait. The 6-game Philly triumph brings tears to the eyes of General Manager Paul Owen and Philly fans everywhere. In looking back at the 1980 World Series, there were heroes galore. The Phillies' Bake McBride set the tone of the series, spearheading the first game comeback with his resounding 3-run homer. Amos Otis had a series-high .478 batting average and a bevy of clutch hits for the Royals. Hal McRae, one of only 2 Royals with previous World Series experience, gave KC a dependable DH. While Willie Aikens conducted a vicious assault on Philadelphia's pitching and became the first player ever to hit 2 home runs in 2 games of the same series. Perhaps the most unsung hero of the series was Philly Ironman Bob Boone, who courageously shrugged off a foot injury to bat .412 and catch every inning. Shortstop Larry Boa triggered a World Series record, 7 double plays, and led the Phillies in both base hits and stolen bases, while adding a boyish enthusiasm. But the most exuberant Philly was reliever Tug McGraw, who won 1 game, saved 2 others, and kept everyone's heart thumping. The Royals' George Brett displayed his incomparable batting stroke to the whole world. Steve Carlton, the man they call Lefty, struck out 17 in 15 innings and accounted for 2 of the Phillies' 4 wins. And finally, Mike Schmidt, who silenced his critics by winning the World Series MVP trophy, then saying graciously, "I'd like to chop it up into at least 25 pieces and give some to all the other guys." One and all, the 1980 Philadelphia Phillies are baseball's world champions.
2 outs, 9th inning. Phillies lead 4-1. Game 6 of the World Series. Willie Wilson coming to the plate. Tuck McGraw on the mound. One more out, and Philadelphia can truly say, we are number 1.
What a spot to be in after 97 years. 1 out, just one more little out. Okay, Booney, what's it going to be for Wilson? Screwball? I'll try it with all I've got. I look at the bases. I wind up and throw. Strike 1. The roar of the crowd. The sound is deafening. Those Phillies fans are going wacko. And now it's time for the slider. Come on, Tugger. Lean into it. Give it all you've got. Willie fouls it off. Oh, my heart's going crazy. With 2 breaking balls, I think he's set for the fastball. Let's try the cutty start. It sails high. It's okay. The count is 1-2. Just one more pitch to go. Just one more pitch. 97 years can change with just one more pitch. Come on, you old reliable arm. My breadbasket for so many years. I'm tired. My fingers tingle. Just one more pitch. No, Booney, not the screwball. The fastball should do. This time the Jameson. Straight in there. The scene around me is a mirage. The noise of the crowd is at a nervous pitch. What's this? A mounted police and the canine corps too? Just one more pitch. Just one more great pitch. And now, the windup. Come on, you Tugger. I reach way back. Up with my arm. The leg swings out for a perfect stride. Zing it, Tugger. Zing it with all you've got. There she goes.